is going on, all of you gaming legends? This video should hopefully be going up as soon as the draft for the WBE is over. So I'm going to upload it, then I'm going to make it live. Because that's a thing that you can do on YouTube, right? Yeah, totally. So, we are going to go ahead and talk right away about my draft overview for my WBE team. And you guys are about to find out why I was really upset about my DSL team. Because already you guys could see some similarities in the team that I was randomly assigned for my league in terms of, hang on, I always have issues with like my recording from the perspective of like my stream audio versus my recording audio. So I don't know if I need to just take a double look at it or not, but jacked everything up on my mixer. So hopefully you guys can hear me and it comes through nice and crisp. But you can already see some similarities to my DSL team in Victini as my primary mon. I actually picked this one when it was time for the WBE. For the fact that I've never run it. It's base 100 across the board. I was 14th overall, so there was a lot of great Pokemon that had gone before me. I've always wanted a Tapu, but unfortunately the draft was not in my favor in that regard. So we picked up Victini. V-Create is pretty, and U-Turn, base 100, pretty much can turn it into whenever. Really excited to get back into an OU format and see if I can redeem myself from the abysmal performance that I had in my first league, which was OU with the APA. So hopefully you guys have some faith in me. I had wheel pick-ish with 14, then 15, then 16 twice, then 15, then me again. So I literally only had 4 picks between mine every time. So as long as I think it was Mr. Talent and Patters were on the wheel ahead of me. As long as they didn't snipe me, we were A-okay and good to go. So we went ahead and grabbed Victini round 1. Obviously, don't really need to talk about this too much, nor am I going to talk about it too much. I just kind of want to give you guys an overview of what I drafted. Obviously, some like good team options to pair it with were something that would give me, what the hell am I even trying to say? Basically, Victini's really good. I'm trying to read stuff at the same time that I'm trying to record and like get to some information. I just see random Pokemon names here on Smogon because that's what I use for all my stuff to try and learn and better myself. And hopefully you guys are realizing that I'm slowly making progress toward, understanding the entire competitive Pokemon battle sphere of things. But we've been on Victini for 3 minutes now, so we're gonna go ahead and move into my round 2 pick, which was pairing Victini with Mega Scissor. It's a literal direct counter. We went and grabbed Mega Scissor. So M1 Mega for the team obviously does everything that Scissor does incredibly well. Now the cool thing about this league, Mega, ladies and gentlemen, is that I do not need to Mega turn 1. I don't even need to bring Mega, so I can just bring regular Scissor and run it like with Choice Band tech and don't even need to Mega it. So great offensive qualities, great defensive qualities, and as a Mega, it's pretty much just everything gets better except its HP, unfortunately. Everything else gets a little bit of a stat boost, and it's just that much more nasty with the Technician, giving it the stronger bullet punch, and so it gets some priority access to Sword Dance, pairs beautifully with Victini, and I thought was really a solid overall pick to come into the wheel with. Yeah, and it takes Scissor off the board for somebody else, so because I don't have the Mega first turn, once you choose your Mega, it removes the other Mon, and vice versa. If somebody had drafted regular Scissor, Mega Scissor would have been off the board. So I didn't want to take that risk in later rounds, and really thought that it was a good pairing for our team. So I think that was a very nasty dual wheel to start things off, and I actually am mid-draft currently for another league, which is going to be Little Cup. I'm so excited. So we're going to go for these super terrifying Pokemon. That's right. I'm going to be in 4 leagues simultaneously. It's going to be great. Yay. The good news for you guys is there's about to be a ton of content on my channel, which is what you guys have been asking for and what you guys have been looking for. So After another, like, what was this, 28 picks or something, I got to go again, and we grabbed Primarina, Water Fairy. Beautiful, beautiful offensive core that I'm building here. Pretty much already gives me, outside of my dragon typing, I've already am halfway to both a elemental, 2 out of 66.6 repeating % of the way there to both my elemental core and my fantasy core. Primarina, let's look at these base stats here. Stupid special attacks. Could be also run defensively. Torrent is, as you guys have seen with my Empoleon, a stupid good ability. It's just a lot of fun. That Stab Moonblast, Stab Hydro Pump, Stab Scald. Could run it. Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention, you guys can see down at the bottom here, there's Z Crystal is another thing. So you guys are going to have to see some pairings here. But we grabbed Primarina round 3 and then paired it with, it probably was a bit early, but I got really salty when Elliot took it away from me in the P4G. So we have Cough. That is right, not coughing, but Cough. So decided to bring a pure, I think this is the first time I've ever had a ghost type on my team. I've never run it before, so I'm actually kind of excited to see how well it pairs up with things, as well as giving it the ability to 1v1 Mega Lopunny. Which I think Elliot actually picked. So this could be a kind of our revenge play. If I go up against Elliot, I'm going to just bring the Mon that he stole from me to kill his Mega. So really good base defense. And has access to Nasty Plot, Trick Room, and just a nasty, nasty sweep in that regard, especially pairs well with my incredibly offensive team. We can slow things down and deal with if I'm coming up against high offense as well. Round 5, you guys are about to see this pairing here. I decided to grab my Z Crystal, and we grab Z Psychic, Psychium Z, that is right, ladies and gentlemen. So really not too much to talk about this. As you will see, it start to fit in with my team as we go through, but obviously could run on both. Right now it's just Victini. There's really not too much else that it would do well with, but you guys are starting to see how it'll click with my team here. I was the first one to draft a Z Crystal, and that is predominantly because I knew as soon as I grabbed my Xurkitree, we ran into a potential issue with me getting sniped by either Drew or Mr. Talent, or Drew, aka Mr. Talent, or Patters on the wheel. They might grab Psych Z once they saw that I grabbed Zerk. So that Z Hypnosis late game sweep gives you 1.5 times speed and puts the enemy in front of you asleep, pretty much guaranteeing a tail glow, and then you can just go from there. First time I've ever run a Ultra Beast on my team. I'm actually really kind of excited for that. And just the potential for a Zerk sweep out of the gate, which is going to be beautiful. But that's why we grabbed Psych Z first, and I knew it wouldn't make it another round, and I didn't want to risk getting sniped on the wheel, because I would have been very, very sad. Because even if Zerk had gone, we had backups, but Psych Z paired with Zerk is just too beautiful combination. Just gotta hope that Hypnosis doesn't miss. I feel like Z Hypnosis should be guaranteed 100% accuracy, but that's cool. It's fine. It's cool. I still at least get the speed boost, even if it doesn't put something to sleep. So, round 6, actually round 7. Round 7. Somehow managed to hold off this long on grabbing a dragon type. Kyurem Black went to Crimson Seabed Chase, but I managed to grab a regular Kyurem for myself. It is still just as nasty as Kyurem Black. Well, not as nasty, but even reduced down, its stats are still stupid, especially for a round 7 pick. Dragon Ice, it kind of resists its own weakness, removing the ice weakness that most dragon types have, and allows it to come in on, or not force out, but run it Scarfed. It's going to outspeed a majority of things with the base 95 speed, and then the base 130 attack and special attack, and then a 125 HP. Basically allows me to come in, grab a choice scarf, and then just outspeed most of what threatens it and deals with it. Gets great coverage, and the stab ice and stab dragon is just such a unique and beautiful combination. I'm actually really excited to run this monster. I've been already mocking some matches in Showdown and just trying out new teams and combinations and stuff for my first matchup, which will be against Game Boy Luke. And I have to say, man, I'm really loving the way my team's coming together. I can't remember if there's anything I really got sniped on. I remember being genuinely upset that the Niddos had gone as when they did. I was going to wait on Koff, but I was a little anxious on that and pulled the trigger probably a bit too early. I looked at Dragagi was a possibility for my team, but at the end of it, Kiram just made the most sense. And then we paired that with a Hitmontop, which Wolf, the former VGC champ, was not too happy about in the fact that, VGC is just Hitmontop, man. Rapid Spinner, great Pokemon. Pretty much can just sponge. Yeah, special defense and defense. Cool. So, not really too much to say about it. It does one thing and it does one thing well. Stab fighting, toss to toxic, and rapid spins. Not really too much to say. Just really and the intimidate. The important thing, the intimidate. To make sure that it can clear those rocks, toss off the toxic. It doesn't really get threatened out too much in that regard with the intimidate. So, really a big fan of trying out Hitmontop plus our little, skater boy here. Oh my god, there's our nickname. I'm going to need nickname suggestions, so if you guys have, a theme, we did Japanese food for the P4G. If you guys have a theme that you think fits my team that we could get away with, I don't know, anime, a particular anime, or, names of throwback songs, we could do Skater Boy for this one. And that's about it. So if you guys have suggestions, please leave those in the chat below, or in the comment section below. You guys are a far more creative group than I am. So round 9, our next 2 pairings, we're going to be Credilly, big fan of the Storm Drain or Suction Cups. Suction Cups make sure I don't lose my item. Can't be forced to switch, never mind. That's some other move. Sticky Hold, I think. So Storm Drain obviously gives it a direct counter to 0 damage from water, resists both psychic and electric and normal, and can pretty much come in and help. Pairs beautifully with my Victini, as well as making sure Primarina doesn't take anything. Anything that comes in on Primarina, no, it doesn't get forced out by this thing, but it does get forced out by my next move. Next mon, which is going to be Drapion. There's the poison type. I was scrambling to find a poison type late after Dragagi went. And as you guys can tell, there's still some glaring weaknesses. I have to think we went through about probably 14 different combinations for the last 4 mons on my team. And crunching points and numbers, and just it was a freak fest to try and figure out how we were going to wrap up this team here. But I decided to grab Drapion, especially after seeing it against me when I played Chase in the P4G, and burned it to hell. But Battle Armor, Keen Eye, Sniper, great defensive stat, access to Sword Stance to kind of get some setup, Stab Knockoff, Stab Poison Jab. It's it's the same typing as a Alolan Muck, but doesn't do the things Alolan Muck does great. You'd rather it with beef the attack stat as opposed to the defensive stat. Great coverage in both Aqua Tail or Earthquake, and then also has the potential to Pursuit Trap. So really solid T4 mon that we picked up for ourselves here. And then round 11, what the hell did I grab? Point-wise, I knew I had my round 12 pick locked in. So I decided to grab Masquerain, that's right. Masquerain as our both Drew and Patters did not have the points for our round 11 pick, which is a 2-2. I had 120 points left after this pick. So Masquerain, we debated grabbing Swellow. Swellow went though. Game Boy Luke, I think, snaked it from us. And then we also looked at Staraptor. But we decided to grab Masquerain as my flying type. A little bit of dual typing with the bug, unfortunately. I try not to double up on any typings, but it's not bad. It comes in, it's bug for a completely different reason. Has access to Quiver Dance, Sticky Webs, Sticky Web. There we go. Let's get it right, Tyler. Great coverage, stab flying, as well as stab bug, and just overall, especially sashed, gives it the ability to make sure it sets webs as a lead, as long as, or late game as well as you deal with some of their defoggers or force their defoggers to come in if you don't lead it, or if you lead it rather. And another Intimidate Mon for my team. So this compared with Hitmon Top can really start to force some Mons out that can't do any damage, which is beautiful in my mind. And then our last Mon is going to be my ground type to round things off. Doug Trio, and yes, Arena Trap is allowed. So, very, very excited to use this thing. Obviously has that electric immunity, resist only weak to 3 things, and resist 2. So, Doug Trio with that base 120 speed and a 100 attack. Stab EQ, has access to Toxic, Stealth Rocks, and Arena Trap really just forces a lot of items off of the other team. And if I could pair it with some knockoffs, then that means, and drop some shed shells, that pretty much guarantees that you're stuck with Doug Trio. And so I'm super excited about that. And that's going to round up, finish off my team here. So if you guys have comments, concerns, questions, any particular crazy sets you would like me to see with these Mons, please let me know in the comment section below. I think I did very well for a 14th position in the draft, and am very, very excited for this overall team, especially paired up with Psychic Z across the board. I think this team has a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun to run. But unfortunately, as you guys can see, we have 4 common Pokemon with my WBE or my WBE team and my DSL team in Victini, the Kyurem, the Drapion, and the Doug Trio. So I'm just going to learn to use these Mons really, really well. But thank you guys all so much for watching. I appreciate it tremendously. And until next time, peace out, you sexy, gorgeous, beautiful, wonderful gaming legends out there. Take care.